issues. I had everything set up, I thought, correctly, and did a little test run to make sure the sound was good. And then my second monitor stopped working, and so I was dealing with that, and a lot of problems. Unfortunately, the audio didn't come out great, so the others are a little bit quieter. Hopefully, you can bear with that, as there's a lot of good information in there for those of you looking at getting to limited PQs. So apologies for the loudness of my audio compared to the others. Enjoy the video. Welcome back, everybody, to Wild Space. I am here with three friends of mine. We have returned from the Enumclaw, I don't know how to pronounce it, limited PQ, and we have returned victorious to not bury the lead. In one PQ, we had two people qualify. So congrats to Jordan and Owen. And just to introduce everybody here, we've also got Ben from the channel Unlimited. Which way is it, Ben?
Limited, but I deeply regret that name choice.
Hey, no, it fits perfect. So thank you all for joining us. We're going to talk a little bit about the PQ, what we think about limited in general, and yeah, hopefully it'll give everyone some insight going forward into their own PQs. And we have one more. Are you guys all going to the one in on the 31st?
Yeah, Zulus. Yep.
Okay.
I can't.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, you got your W already, so there you go. Before we start, do you guys want to just briefly introduce yourself and tell us how you got into SWU? Why don't you start, Ben?
Yeah, so I got into SWU because I was working at a game store at the time, and some customer came in and asked, "Hey, are you guys going to be carrying that new Star Wars game?" And that's the first I had heard of it. And I went to the back and asked my manager, and he said, "Oh yeah, no, we are." So I went back out and told them, and they said, "Oh, I'm really excited for it because it's being built ground up with a draft environment in mind." And immediately I was like, "Draft, you say?" So I had to go to the pre-release and try it out, and I've been a lifelong Star Wars fan. Yeah, since the pre-release, I was hooked, and I've been doing it ever since.
Okay. And did you play a bunch of other card games before this?
Before Star Wars, and still now I play Magic, although mostly limited formats there, draft, whatnot. Vintage Cube is on Arena right now. Everybody go check it out.
There you go. Awesome. Jordan?
Me and Owen both got into the game the same way. Owen played a lot more Destiny. I played a little bit of that, and then his dad was the one who ended up convincing the rest of us to play in Star Wars Unlimited, because there's a whole thing with a bunch of other people who weren't gonna play and then were gonna play and then got us into the game and stopped playing the game. But yeah, now we're here.
Nice. And before Destiny, Owen, other games or no?
I used to play a bunch of Hearthstone
Okay.
during high school on our lunch breaks with Jordan.
Nice.
But yeah, I played Destiny from the first set all the way up until they canceled it. So I've been playing card games for I guess like 10 or more years now. So as soon as they showed a new Star Wars TCG, I wanted to try it.
Nice. Cool. And then now that you've been to a couple limited PQs and a couple constructed, what's your preference? Which one do you guys like better? Anybody can go.
I think I prefer constructed more.
Yeah.
Yeah, me as well, because it's a lot easier to practice for.
Mm-hmm.
I can just go on Carabast and just play Han 1 green 200 times. But yeah, limited. It's luck on top of luck on top of luck.
Yeah.
I think it's specifically the sealed part of the PQ that I would prefer. And I know they can't have that many drafts because they don't have enough judges to watch it all.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Just the sealed portion of the limited PQ makes me like the premier ones first. If it was all draft, then who knows? But can't do that.
It would be hard for me to call myself a limited fan if I didn't defend the limited PQs a little bit here, but I mostly agree with what's been said, that I probably slightly prefer limited PQs, and I do hope they keep doing them. But definitely, sealed is not a particularly serious competitive format, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong; it's not like a complete coin flip, but
Yeah.
there's a little bit more randomness to it that draft somewhat mitigates. But as Jordan has said, it's kind of difficult to do a draft before the top 8.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I'm probably 50-50 torn between constructed and limited PQs.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm similar in that I really like limited in draft, but I'm not a huge sealed player. I know they talked about having limited at Worlds, so I'm hoping that's just draft and not sealed. But we'll see. Anyhow, let's talk a little bit about the decks here. We have Ben, your deck. Tell us a little bit about it, and also, was there other options you were considering, or was your pool just kind of like, this is the only thing you can play?
So I also considered Leia yellow, as it had 2 copies of Junior Senator, the 3/2, for 2, and a copy of A-Wing, and I think those are both quite good. The Junior Senator is just good in general, and then the A-Wing is good, especially in Leia. But it turned out that other than that, the curve was just kind of substantially worse. And I wouldn't be able to play Crucible, which I think is kind of a bomb, or Unveiled Might, which can be pretty strong on the flip turn and things like that. Overall, this was sort of, I think, it was like pretty obvious this is what I was supposed to play. I would say. And sorry,
Yeah.
was that the full question? Or was there a part
Yeah, no, I think so. I think it looks like a fair pool, but like nothing crazy. Did it feel that way playing it?
Yeah, the deck felt very just okay.
Yeah.
A lot of the green. One of the big reasons to be in green, of course, in heroism especially, is there are the 2 pretty strong ambush units. There's Dracelian commandos, right? The 4/5 with plot and ambush, and then there's the 7 cost 6/7 tank with ambush that has a name that I can't remember this very instant.
Shadow
Um,
Crawler.
that's the one. And I didn't have either of those, and I think those are pretty important. Also, the 5/7 Sentinel. And as far as I understand, all 3 of those are at common. Maybe the 5/7 Sentinel's uncommon, but no, I think it's common.
It's coming.
Yeah, and so missing out on all of those definitely was pretty brutal, and I think it would be very unusual to miss out all 3 of those. But so I think the deck suffered a lot by not having those green staples. As well as you may notice, it doesn't have much. There's one 4-drop unit, which is kind of anti-synergy with Gonk Droid, because the ideal line, right, is you Gonk Droid and then attack and then play a 4-drop. But I couldn't really do that reliably, and even when I could, it didn't feel that good because the Ornithopter is just fine. So yeah, the deck was like very 5 out of 10. Like, it had its curve, it had its like a couple of pretty strong cards, but nothing particularly special, I would say.
And I believe that was Unlimited Limited Trivia Champ Owen coming in there with the answer to that name of that card, right?
I think actually Jordan won the.
Oh,
trivia
Jordan
game.
won the
I
last one?
lost
Okay.
all of my points in Final Judgment.
Oh, okay. If you haven't seen it, go watch the trivia videos. They're fun on Ben's channel. All right, Owen, yeah, talk a little bit about your deck, and was there other options you considered, or was this kind of the only thing you saw?
Yeah, so I built Leia yellow. I was also considering going the other way, like with Ben, with Leia green, but I didn't have the Dracilian Commandos or Shadow Crawler or the Naboo Guard, or I think any green 2-drops. So my curve would have just been terrible. Also, I had a lot of good blue-green villain cards in my pool, but I didn't pull Jabba. I think I pulled like one of my only villain leaders was Dryden, so I couldn't really play a good villain deck. So went with Leia Yellow. I believe the deck has 11 turn 1 plays. Because I remember from playing limited before that I played some decks with like 6 turn 1 plays, and if you don't get a turn 1 play in sealed, you're just gonna lose like instantly. But this one I have 11 turn 1 plays, 3 of them are 1-drops, so I'm able to buff it right away.
Yeah.
Really like Stolen Star Path unit. There's
Okay.
everyone's kind of just playing Leia in sealed, so everyone's just disclosing what their cards are. So I was really able to make spies pretty easily there,
Mm.
and Beguile, probably one of the best. Like I think it's a common.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, the best common I think for sealed. It's
And
really good.
did you find that you kind of had to race the other Leia decks? I imagine they probably got better top end than you. Is that how you were winning most of your games?
Yeah, I did have to race them a bit, but also with the fact like some Leia green and Leia red decks would run Beguile off aspect.
Mm-hmm.
I got to actually just play it for the normal cost of 3. So while they're playing like going on to 6 resources, they're playing their Naboo Guard or the Jade Squadron Patrol. I just get to balance it for 3
Mm-hmm.
and then still get to do something and hit them.
Nice.
But yeah, I did have to play it a little more aggressive because on my top end, I think I have 1/6 drop because the War Walker's off aspect, and I never played that card.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned the 2 drops. I think they are super important, but sometimes you can just get lucky. The Sabe green player in top 8. I looked at his deck list. He had 4 2 drops or 4 turn 1 plays in his deck, and he made top 8. He just drew on every game, mulligan for it. So sometimes you
Wow.
get there. All right, Jordan. Tell us about yours. Was there other options in your pool, or was this kind of it?
Yeah, so I had a pool that had a ton of options actually.
Mm.
I opened 6 different leaders and a lot of good ones too. It was Leia, Sly, um, I'm blanking on the name. There's a red leader that readies a token unit.
Oh yeah, Price.
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 Yeah,
Yeah.
Price. And I opened a Fulminatrix,
Cool.
the legendary Thrawn, and an Arrest, and all 3 of those cards I think are very good and limited.
Mm-hmm.
So I really tried to make those decks work first, but they didn't make it because of the number of turn 1 plays.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I ended up on this, which I was looking at this too. I wanted to, after my last limited PQ where I totally missed the best deck in my sealed pool, I wanted to make sure I give everything a good look.
Mm-hmm.
But this deck, I think it was very good. I think it's carried by the 3 drops.
Mm-hmm.
Having 2 of the crate veterans and 2 populous champions on top of um, the Taylander shuttle, which is very good when you get a experience on it, because then it trades with things like the Arc. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I was really happy with this deck. I also don't have any of the shadow crawlers or the commandos, um, but I have a lot of things that I think make me good against other Leia decks, which
Mm.
is where I think this deck really shines. I have 2 copies of Theed Security,
Yeah.
which against a Leia deck is almost always a 2 cost 3/4. I remember in one game I played 2 of those on 4 resources and it was very good.
Mm.
I've got 2 of the covert operatives, which even against Leia isn't great, but it's can be a blowout when you just take the thing that they've been upgrading with their experience and capture it.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was the other thing I had? The Jar Jar was very good in the mirror as well, because being able to kill their Leia before they even get to attack if you deploy first is incredibly strong.
Nice. Good, good. Okay, so now we are just gonna take a little look at. Oh yeah, do a little quick sealed recap. So, we don't have to go through every game match by match, but any kind of key moments or key plays or maybe like card interactions, anything that stands out that is something you're gonna kind of take into the next PQ as like, oh, this line worked out really good in this match or anything like that. Um, we'll go reverse, Jordan. Why don't we start with you this time?
One thing that came up quite a few times was if you can get I think it's called the Umbaran something cannon,
Mm-hmm.
the 7/3 that prevents the first instance of damage it takes each turn.
Yep.
If you can get that out on 6 against a green deck, that is very strong because they can't play a Shadow Crawler against you or it just dies.
Mm.
I had that come up, I think, in 3 games. I was able to get it out, and then a Shadow Crawler that I know that they disclosed the turn before
Mm-hmm.
They just couldn't do anything with it because if they play it, ambush my thing, I just kill it for free, and then
Mm-hmm.
that's their whole turn to kill one of my units while I'm still developing my board with it. So that's
Nice.
really good.
Nice. Owen, what about you?
I had a couple weird plays during Sealed with some upgrades. Stolen Starpath unit on Bale
Mm.
against the Leia deck, who's always disclosing.
Mm.
It's kind of like having a mini Queen Amidala.
Mm.
Because you attack, you discard a card, make a spy. You already know what they revealed. You make another spy.
Mm.
I think I made 8 spies with Bale in one game.
Crazy.
That was pretty good. Also, the card Sneaking Suspicion, the plot +1/+1,
Yeah.
is not really that bad as I thought it was.
Okay.
One game I played it just on turn 2 to
Mm.
buff my unit
Mm-hmm.
because your opponent's not expecting you to buff it once with Leia, then buff it again. So you can get a really good trade off
Mm.
just with like your 2-drop. So paying 2 just for basically 1 experience is really good early on in the game to get a good trade.
Mm. Nice. Ben?
There were a lot of interesting Gonk droid lines I found
Mm.
because I didn't have a 4-drop to play, so I kind of had to explore those a little bit.
Mm.
So like the turn 1 Gonk droid, turn 2 attack with it, play a 2-drop, buff Gonk droid, or you could or sorry, play a 3-drop and
Mm.
still buff Gonk droid, or you
Mm.
could buff Gonk droid to save it from getting killed by whatever they played. Now it's a kind of a high risk, high reward play, or high risk, medium reward, we'll call it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they go first and they have a 3x, then that's not good for you. But that was kind of something I explored. The thing that I would say I took away from this most from my list and from other people's lists was that I already thought Nimble Prowess was good. I think Nimble Prowess is great now. I've upgraded it in my mind. It's a lot
Mm.
better than I expected it to be, and I expected it to be good. It felt like action cheating a lot of the time, and for a similar reason to what Owen just said, the 2 costs for +1/+1 being actually not bad. I agree with that. And
Mm-hmm.
Nimble Prowess is that for 1, and also exhausts a
And it
unit. So
exists. Yeah.
um,
Yeah. I got.
and it's a common. So and it can hit leaders. Like you can exhaust leaders, and it can go on space units. Like it does everything, and like Owen said as well, you can, if you're playing Leia, disclose, put an experience counter on something, and then play Nimble Prowess to get the second one that they weren't expecting. Although I usually found that first action Nimble Prowess exhaust their biggest thing is a better line most of the time, but that
Mm.
option is there for you.
Mm. Yeah, I know I got blown out by that card in one matchup where I was playing Yularen, so I'm trying to flip my leader and go fast. I had Sudden Ferocity, I had a Jar Jar, so like one game it was like flip Yularen, attach Sudden Ferocity, Jar Jar, and then Nimble Prowess, take a seat. Oh, that feels bad. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so Owen and Jordan made it to the top 8 for the draft. Ben, your 2 ties were a little bit unfortunate, and so that kept you out. But we're just going to talk about the draft a little bit here. This is the leaders that you guys opened. So this is right away the first thing you're looking around the table. When you're looking at the 3 leaders you have and looking around the table, did you have an instinct for a leader that you were hoping to play at this stage of the draft? Owen, what do you think?
Yeah, so I opened Leia, so obviously, I want to
Mm-hmm.
play Leia, but
Mm-hmm.
the guy next to me in seat 3, um, he actually opened a showcase Leia,
Yeah. Yeah.
so he kind of had to play it. And then seat 2, seat 1 also have Leia,
Yeah.
so I took Leia anyway,
Mm-hmm.
but if we're passing left, I would have gotten the 4th best Leia card every
Right.
single time.
Yeah.
Um, so I took it anyway, just hoping maybe they wouldn't take Leia. I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure they all did
Mm-hmm.
on first pick, but
Mm-hmm.
uh, can't go wrong with Leia, and I can't take DJ.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. What about you, Jordan?
I was happy with the leaders I opened. I was deciding between Jabba and Mon Mothma.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the ones to my left. I figured I was going to be the seat 7 was going to take Yularen,
Mm-hmm.
and then seat 8. I figured the worst was probably Satine there.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up taking Jabba just because that would be two heroic leaders that I'd be stuck with, and I did not want to take Mon Mothma and get locked to hero.
Right. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Jabba's just pretty good. I wasn't considering Dryden at all.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. So then the leader draft happens, and this is how it ends up. And so, did anything change, Jordan? Were you still kind of focused on Jabba as your priority, if you could, or were either of those other two leaders tempting you?
Yeah, I think Jabba is probably the best out of these ones. Also, there isn't really any other blue villain leaders. The seat 5 had a Jabba. He didn't end up going Jabba deck, which was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Dedra was a close second, and I kind of just think Jabba's better than the other two leaders, so I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to do that if possible, and I was able to make it work.
Yeah, yeah, because I think, uh, yeah, the other blue leader is Lama Su for the rare, right, for villain, and she's like
Yeah,
pretty unplayable, so you don't got to worry about that.
make that work.
Yeah. And how about you, Owen?
Yeah. So we started the draft. I left to the right, and
Yeah,
we saw 3 Leias.
yeah,
So I kind of just gave up on going Leia
right,
because I was just gonna get the worst cards.
right.
And I can't. And Dryden's terrible. So
Yeah,
I went for Daedra.
yeah,
To my other side. Um, I was assuming probably at the Mon Mothma player, the guy who ended up playing Mon Mothma would go
yeah,
Mon Mothma because
yeah,
I assumed Jordan would go Jabba. So if they were both playing Jabba, that would hinder their deck building. So one
yeah,
of them would probably end up switching. So
yeah.
I was
That's
pretty certain I'd get some good red cards from that direction.
yeah, yeah, and especially since uh, the guy Jordan was to the left of that guy. Jordan, like you're gonna get stripped of all the Leia cards. Jordan's gonna be taking most of the Jabba cards from that guy. So, okay, we have a recording of the draft. We're gonna go through here, and just talk about some different picks. I'm just gonna let it play. I think if there is, we'll maybe let Jordan talk through kind of his decision points. I did cut out a bunch of the dead time, so if you guys see a pick that like maybe you think, oh, what about, was there a different choice that you would have made in this spot, or what if, did you consider this card, or you want to leave a comment, just feel free to jump in with a pause, and I can pause it, and we can do a little bit of commentary there.
Give me a
But I
chance to justify my picks.
Yeah, exactly. Um,
Ben's already
and
pausing it.
yeah. And this is for learning for everybody. And obviously, drafting is a high pressure situation, so it's very easy to stand behind someone, and critique their picks when the pressure's not on you.
Don't I know it?
But overall, I think most of the time it was a lot of like, yeah, good pick, yeah, good pick. So, before we do that, Owen, do you remember your first couple picks that you took, just so we can get a feel for like how your deck kind of shaped up?
Uh, yeah, Pack one, pick one. I picked the red 2-drop 3/3, the Warrior of
Warriors of Clan
Clan.
Order.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one. And then I got past a Daedra
Oh
from
wow,
the
okay.
Leia player. I was like, okay,
Yeah, the
sounds
6/6
good.
cost 5/5 ambush.
Yeah,
Make a
that was
spy.
nice.
Yeah, yeah,
And then I think I got past an Arinda Price, which I was like, oh, guess
yeah,
I'm playing in red green villain.
yeah,
Past all these good cards immediately. So
yeah, yeah.
it's
Okay,
nice.
so you were pretty locked in right away from your first couple
Yeah.
picks. Cool. Awesome. Okay, we will let it go, and Jordan will let you do most of the talking through your thought process here, and if we want to, people can interject.
I remember this first pack not being super appealing. There was a couple good cards from it, but now maybe I should have taken the N1 Star Path unit after what Owen was saying.
Yeah. But you're already thinking Jabba at this point, right?
Yeah, I was. I didn't want to get super locked into it,
Okay.
but Jabba was my preference.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is the time when we have the most time. And I think like the Beguile is the most flexible pick. Whatever you pick,
Yeah.
it's going in the deck, right? So
I played it off aspect in my Java Green deck I ended up with.
yeah,
I think Beguile is the right pick there for sure.
yeah,
Yeah, we did a draft the day before this PQ, and Beguile worked really well.
yeah,
Just the whole reason I played yellow for
Yeah.
Leia.
yeah.
I respect you considering Minabon Terry here and staying open. I think that you took the
Yeah.
right card here with emergency powers, but I think it is important to stay open there, or to consider staying open rather
Yeah.
because some people like they draft one card of the best leader and they're like, okay, I'm set with this, and then they completely get cut off and their deck just ends up being bad. So it's good to make those considerations.
Yeah, emergency powers was just too good to
Oh, 100%.
to let pass there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a mega bomb, so that makes you feel a little bit better about being in blue villain if you get that card.
In a set with removal that's like so easy to play around, it's just what you want.
Yeah. And at the top of the screen, we can see that Leia showcase that the guy did open. So sitting there. Okay, next pack.
Oh, it's this pack. Ben might have something to say about
I
this.
have opinions about this pack, but
I think
but
somebody
you
wanted
ended
to
up
take first light.
results oriented. You made the right choice, but it's still you must have drank the juice from Dune that lets you like see the future, like because.
I was thinking a 7-drop would just come down too late in the game.
Yeah, I think the Nubian is better because you're just kind of hoping that it's gonna wheel the first light because it's gonna get past all the Leias. No one's taking that, so you have to get past a few people to not take first light. While the Nubian is probably good in most decks.
Every deck.
Every
you
deck has
you
an official.
you probably expect before it gets back to you that there's four, or I don't know what the actual explanation, I guess three and a half, like villainy players. Now, of course, not all of them are in green villainy, but say there's even two that would consider that. I think that they would snap that up. The fact that it got all the way around is interesting, but I agree that sometimes you do like the game is decided by seven. But to me, the 4-drop, the Nubian Starskiff is replaceable, whereas First Light just kind of wins games on its own, especially if your opponent is sort of like limp wristedly in space, and
fair.
not either like a complete space aggro rundown dominate package or like a not in space at all, because then it definitely loses equity if they have no space. But I find that most decks in this format are like kind of a little bit like one toe in space, and First Light really does well into that in my experience, and will just win games on its own. I don't think that Nubian is a bad card. I think that it was definitely that would have been my second choice in that pack for sure. But you know what's even better than drafting First Light is drafting Nubian Starskiff and wheeling First Light. So spoilers there. You clearly
have
knew
no
something
idea.
I didn't.
Yeah, I think the other card that is like maybe worth a look is the Alderaanian Envoys, the 6 cost 3/7 restore 3. In a deck like Jabba that wants to go late and wants things with big health. I think that restore 3 can help you kind of claw back if you fall a little bit behind earlier. But yeah, I think the Starship's a great one too.
I started my opinion on that Envoys was really high when the set first came out, and I feel like it's only been getting lower the more I've played with that card. It just feels like it's really clunky to play a 3/7 for 6 resources, and if you're in Leia, it's not as bad because you can buff it, but in Jabba, I think it's really difficult to get value out of it if because it's only 3 attack. Can't do a whole lot when you're
Yeah, that's fair.
offense.
Yep.
I don't think the card is bad, but my problem in Jabba with it is that it comes down the turn after you play Jabba, and then you can attack with it the turn after that. And usually,
Right.
if you can start attacking with it in Jabba and you still have the Jabba flip, it's great. But I find that usually that can't happen. So
Yeah,
usually that doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's fair.
In my experience.
All right. So then we'll look next here.
Not a lot of options in this pack.
This one is really close between two cards. I don't remember what you picked here. I could see both though. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
That was one of them. Creditor's Claim is also like crazy in a format where removal is bad. But the
Well, just
Sentinel and Jabba is hard
drop
to
a
beat.
3 attack.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
3/2 drop also a consideration. I think all
Yep.
three good cards,
Mhm.
but I do think the most important thing for making a Jabba deck work is Sentinels. So
Yeah, I agree.
I think you need that critical mass of Sentinels in order to do well. All right.
Oh, it's pack.
This, I think. Right. Okay.
Oh yeah, I have a theory.
Ah, yes. This one.
I was
Yeah.
really pondering it whether or not I
Yeah.
should take that, and I did.
Okay, so you took the double blue one cost attachment, and I have a question.
Hmm.
Were you thinking back to the previous set? Wasn't there a double blue attachment for one that made something a 5/5?
Yeah,
That is
size
not what
matters not. It was
I
for
thought it was.
3, I think.
Is that you thought it was that card?
No.
Oh, okay,
I
okay,
was
okay,
thinking Jabba has 8 health. That's pretty cool with grit, and
okay,
that's the
okay,
whole thing.
okay. Gotcha.
And
So you were just gonna slam that on Jabba. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I had Jabba with 7 damage and that card attached at one point in one of the games.
Oh, did you?
And
Okay.
basically
If you
dying.
get that going, it's good for sure.
And
There
I
it
you
think
go.
lost all
Jabba's
its abilities.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. His abilities are very strong, and removing them for 3 is definitely a downside. I don't think it's a bad idea. It's an interesting idea. Like it's a very interesting idea. The in that pack it was also like kind of a weaker pack, so you can get away
Yeah.
with making something like that. I think the
Yeah.
best card there was the hut ship, the 3/3 that has like damage on it. That was in
Yeah.
that pack, right?
That ship,
Yeah.
ISB shuttle, not
Yeah.
Yeah, the
terrible.
shot. Yeah, it's sort of between those two. But I think if you're gonna make like a wild pick, that pack is the one to do it out of because
It's
it's
early
not
enough in the
particularly
draft that
good
I
pack.
make choices like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
And hey, it ended up winning you a game you said, so there you go. Beauty. Okay, next.
Nothing in this pack was super
Yeah,
standout.
this is
Yeah.
an unimpressive pack, I think.
You're looking at the attachment or maybe a 2-drop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
the attachment.
Yep.
The Spectre shuttle is really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
There's Krennic.
especially that
Oh,
it gives Sentinel too, right? So any way to
yeah.
get Sentinel
20
is
gets
good.
exhausted.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
I really wanted to take Krennic from this pack.
yeah.
Yeah, the cruiser there is the closest thing to a draft bomb you can get in
Yeah.
Jabba. It's yeah.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah.
Krennic is
trying to get to
so cool
9.
though.
Yeah, no, if you can do Krennic Jabba, you're probably gonna win that game.
I was looking back at the pack
you,
after I took it. I was like, oh, should I take the Krennic? But no.
I thought you were counting there to see if it had a chance of wheeling. That's what I thought you were
Oh.
doing.
I think this one was a pretty easy choice for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This, I think, what Nimble's the only on aspect.
That's a pretty
Yeah,
late.
I was noticing there was a lot of red there, so I'm trying harder to notice what's open. It was
Mm,
something I didn't always do when I drafted.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, there's the wheel pack.
Oh yeah.
So I think
Um,
yellow was
yeah,
openish at this table, if I recall
Yeah.
correctly.
Yeah.
that's what I was noticing with this is
Mhm.
yellow hero specifically because Anakin's
Yeah.
not bad at all.
No.
Yeah,
N1
no,
is
he's great.
with the stolen star path. Sorry.
Yeah. We finally pick up a turn 1 play there, which is
Yeah, it was.
nice.
That's a theme throughout this. Is I was stressed about all the turn 1 plays that I would end up with, and
And
there's
there
That,
it
the first
is.
play.
First thing it does.
Looking back
This
at it,
is
I'm
when I
shocked that it
spun
was
around and I texted you immediately because I knew you weren't going to check your phone till after. I was like, you have to know how ridiculous that is.
well, I guess the table is also with you on the envoys being less
Yeah,
good
maybe maybe it's a slight
they
bad.
made
I
it.
don't know.
Well, no, the envoys, the Alderaanian envoys, made it around
Oh,
too, which I
sure,
am
sure.
surprised by,
Yeah,
especially
they
with
passed
all the
through every
Leias.
Leia.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah.
all right. So now you get time to review your pack. What are you looking for when you look at your pack?
I was counting my turn 1 plays and just looking at the general color that I have. Like I put the only turn 1 play I opened to the front.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I only got one in pack 1, which is
Yeah.
And then this pack had some really good turn 1
Yeah.
plays. I
Yeah.
think I didn't pick either of them, but I
Oh,
don't
okay.
remember
No, I
now.
think you did
Okay.
neither, but they're both great for sure.
And
Yeah.
and I'll just maybe ask Ben and Owen as well. When you get your chance to review, is there specific things that you're looking for when you have those 30 seconds to review your pool?
I'm just counting 2 drops as well.
Okay.
Because I usually just kind of force a color in pack 1, and then pray that nothing goes poorly for me. So then I just just count the 2 drops.
Hey,
Mm.
when that works, it works really well.
Yeah,
And
everyone
if
else
it
picked up
doesn't, you
yours right
lose.
When I'm looking through those, I usually like Owen and Jordan. I'm looking for 2 drops. I'm looking for curve, and then depending on what leader I'm like interested in doing, I look for like in our practice draft. I drafted Mon Mothma, so I was looking for officials.
Mm.
And because I knew I was going to be looking for synergies there. For Jabba, I'd maybe be looking for like Sentinels and Overwhelm and stuff like that. And maybe occasionally what plot cards I've picked up. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. All right. So this is pack 2. Pick one for pack 2. Yeah. Got a couple good 2 drops. Yeah. That's good. Good
Got
as
a
well.
lot of good stuff here.
Yeah, that was a good pack.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, take what, 5 of the cards?
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried to for this. I tried to put all the cards that I was thinking about to the front of the pack.
Yeah. Yeah. For
Mm-hmm.
sure.
And this was a tough choice.
I think after seeing your lack of 2s, I'm probably on the Dark Trooper here, but I could understand taking something else.
Actually, I think there's like 7 cards in the pack that would be good in my deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good pick. Good pick.
Yeah.
Would you guys prefer that over the 2/4?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
The
Decent difference.
the only reason I would maybe consider the 2/4 if I was thinking about switching, but I think since you've already got the first light and the 4/4 in space, and what was your other green card that you took?
I don't remember at this point.
I can't remember. Then I think it's fine to take the green.
Hmm.
But yeah, that would be the
Yeah,
only
the
reason.
Freya's Acolyte is more likely to wheel because I think more people are playing green than there are blue,
Mm,
right? Like
yeah,
the Dark Trooper will go in Jabba and in Daedra and
yeah.
in
Yularen.
Yularen, but
Yeah.
no one's taking this Acolyte,
Yeah,
but
that's
probably the
fair.
Jabba player.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so we got pack 2. Oh, saved there at the end with the last 2 cards.
Yeah, the pack wasn't great. The opposite of the last one.
Yeah.
That kind of that plot sentinel is exactly what you want to see in Jabba too. I guess you're never plotting it in Jabba, but like,
I didn't take it. I was
oh,
thinking about the
okay, I'll shut
plot.
up.
I should have, looking
Yeah.
back on this, I definitely should have taken that. But I was thinking, oh, I'm never gonna plot it. It's just a really inefficient sentinel. But
Yeah.
it's still a sentinel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jabba's okay with
Yeah.
inefficient sentinels.
I absolutely should have taken it.
Yeah. That was, I think there was 2 times where I was like, I don't know about that. And I think that was one of them where I was like, you just want Sentinels. Although I do agree, the stats on it are like a little underwhelming because it does get traded off so easily sometimes, depending on what they play on their turn 5. But yeah, a Sentinel's a Sentinel in Jabba, so that's
Yeah,
my
Helm
Although
thought.
is so difficult.
I see what you're saying about your curve though, right? Like that you do also want those like low drops. So I understand making that pick, although I probably wouldn't have done that, but I get it.
Yeah, I think I had, when I looked through, I had 0 3 drops as well. So
Yeah,
it was mostly the 2s, but I was like, if I can't follow the 2 up with anything, then I'm
right.
just
That's
screwed.
fair.
So
Yeah, and like Owen
Like
said,
if Jabba survives, you put the Coruscant card out. If they hit Leia into it, it's a 4/6, right?
yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
Leia will die from the Jabba ping.
yeah,
So
assuming
it can
no
buff
Jar
their
Jar
unit,
running
takes
forward.
4, and then takes another 4
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
5,
Okay.
whatever it is.
yeah,
I'm getting
yeah,
even more sold on
yeah.
my mistake there.
Yeah, no, all good, all good. Yeah,
Okay. Oh yeah, this one's close too.
Yeah. I was deciding between the Ferrex and the Death Trooper,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and I was
That's
thinking about having no 3 drops, except for the last one I just took, which I don't really want to play because it's not always active.
yeah. And I think Death Trooper as well automatically turns on your Jabba ability on the front side. So I think that's totally fine.
I
It's a
think
good
Night
card.
of I was skeptical of that pick, but in hindsight, I think that you did it right.
And then this is another tough one. Do you go second Death Trooper? But yeah, you have so few 2-drops. It's tough.
Hmm.
Yeah, you're at like what 3 2-drops at this point, I think.
And none of them are ones.
Two.
Yeah, and there's only
I think
one
two.
Lost
Yeah.
Jedi.
that you're really
Yeah,
pumped
so that was
about.
my third one.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, one of them. I guess Lost Jedi and Jabba is maybe okay if you can get an attachment on
It
them,
has
but
some synergy with Grip being good with wanting to have your stuff damaged, but you don't really love playing a 1/3.
yeah. So at this point now, you've got a couple early game cards into your pool. Are you feeling like pretty good? Do you remember?
I was still looking for the early game stuff.
Okay.
I think my ideal number is like around 7 or 8 turn one plays. I like a
Hmm.
lot more than most people, I think.
Yep.
But with Jabba, I can always play a turn one play and then play another 2-drop and ping with Jabba.
Yep. Yeah,
So I
that's
think
fair.
having a more 2-drops in Jabba is more fine than in other leaders.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very common in Dedra and Leia as well. Yeah, useful abilities like that. All right, and then we go.
Yeah, I was putting all the 2-drops to the front really.
Yeah,
There's actually a
and
lot of 2-drops in that pack.
Jar Jar's not really a 2-drop, but in an emergency situation he can be.
Yeah.
But he's just such a good card, right? So.
Oh yeah. It's really good. And that makes manifesto.
Yeah, don't.
I
Why
just
didn't you take it?
did a double take with it.
I appreciate you checked out every hyperfoil that went by. I like that you
Oh
did
yeah.
the little shimmer.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, gotta add to the collection.
yeah. And I think that was a pretty
Oh.
clear pick there. And then yeah, here we get a dud
This
pack.
pack is just unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah, the only card in
Yeah.
Aspect is one I will not be playing no matter
Yeah,
what.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
like
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where hate drafting is something that you actually look at.
Rare
Yeah.
drafting.
I didn't even know what to hate draft. I don't think anything in this pack's really good. So I
yeah,
took the the rare, and that's all my thought process was.
yeah. And I think she's fine too. She protects leaders with hidden, so that can be
Yeah,
good. Yeah,
she has potential
yeah,
in this pack also. I was really noticing yellow was super open.
yeah,
So I was thinking, but I only had the one beguile from my pack one pick one.
yeah. One thing. So now we've seen 2 armors go by. What do you think about armor? Is it just that you felt there was better cards in the pack, or are you not big on it?
I don't like armor whatsoever. I'm
Okay,
even plotting it where it doesn't cost you a card. I think it's a really big tempo loss to pay 2 resources for 3 HP on a unit.
right.
Really, I'd rather do almost anything else other than that. It's like a last resort play, and I don't really want to be picking those up when there's this many cards left in the pack.
You don't want a 211 Jabba?
I don't think that's worth it. I'd rather play a 5-drop or a 3-drop and 2-drop unit. I think either of those is so much better than throwing extra 3 health on Java.
Yeah, that's fair. I just in my head, the longer Jabba lives, the better chance you have to take over the game. So sometimes I'm like, I don't care that it's 0 attack. I just want Jabba to survive. That kind of thing. So
Yeah, I can
I
definitely see the argument for it, and I also
yeah.
had the Exiled on the Force, which is the synergy. That's 5 resources for those 2 cards.
There
So
you go. There you
maybe
go.
there was a line there that I didn't see.
Then he'd just get retaliation at that point.
Yeah, hit you for 12 and he dies.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, I was surprised
Yeah.
Kylo Shuttle
Shuttle
Wheel.
Command shuttle
wheel.
yeah,
wheeling.
It's
I
such
don't
a
think
good
that card's
card.
good usually, but I think it's really good in Java.
I think it's in this format. I think it's good based on its stats alone. 3/5 for 4 in space is good because it doesn't die to the other 4 drops. There's the Naboo ship that's a 4/4,
yeah,
which it can trade evenly to over 2 attacks, or
yeah,
Jabba can use it with an attack and a ping from the leader ability to kill it,
yeah.
It dies to
and then
Enforcer Squadron.
the ground unit.
It
The
trades.
five
Space.
five three, I
Yeah,
think.
5-3,
but
yeah.
at least it trades.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it trades with that
Yeah,
one.
just trade.
Yeah,
And then it totally eats the heroic arc if
yeah,
they don't use the when play trigger on it.
yeah,
And if they do use it on it, then maybe I can just finish it off with Java's ping or something like
Mhm.
that. But
Yeah.
either way, it's going even or better than even into all the other space units at the same cost.
Yeah, I don't think the card is bad, but I think that the Sentinel thing is really mostly relevant
Yeah.
to Java. But
Yeah.
no, I understand what you're saying though. It definitely does do well into most of the field for sure.
Even without the Sentinel bonus, the stats line up well. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So then all that combined makes it a really good card.
Yeah. Here we got a dead pack.
Yeah. Maybe I should have taken the 2-drop, but
Yeah.
No, I think
Not a
that was
fan
good.
of
I
the
think what you took
laborer.
was good.
no,
Yeah.
I really tried to avoid the labor, and there's another one.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
is a
I've ran it in my sealed deck, and I can confirm it's not very good.
I think it's only fine in Leia. And
yeah.
meh.
Yeah.
I guess it has 4 toughness, so
It doesn't die to any of the 3 powers.
yeah, and then you can jab a ping off of it maybe. I seeing that junior senator with 3 cards
Yeah.
left in the pack, that is like, oh man,
Yeah.
somebody could have been drafting yellow hero in this
Mhm.
draft and been cleaning up.
It was the guy on my
Absolutely.
right, the guy who
Yeah,
I
he was
passed
playing
it to,
Mon Mothma
on
Yellow.
Mothma Yellow, and I took my turn.
Oh,
I was like,
that's right. Okay, there you go. There you go. Nice.
I do think that yellow is slightly the weakest color in the set, but I don't I still think it's underdrafted. I think that yellow is a bit weaker, but it's not unplayable by any means.
Yeah.
But
I think I figured out why the other day. Uh I was counting units. Yellow in general has I think 3 less units. No, in general has like 6 less units than any other color. And
yeah,
yellow villain specifically has like 4 less units than. So yeah, they just have way more events, which is a problem.
yeah, it's really bad, especially last set when I there was so many yellow events, and almost all of them were close to unplayable, and it was really bad. I don't know why they balanced the yellow around like that.
Yeah, we'll see. I think it is the one thing that does help it is that because it kind of is weaker, you'll probably be 1 or 2 people at the table drafting it, and so then your card quality on average can go up. So if you hit
yeah,
a couple,
Yeah,
if you hit a couple of the bombs, then yeah, I think you can be good. Sorry, good.
no, I was gonna say if you open with like a Mandalorian or like something
Yeah.
like that, and you're just like no one
Hunter,
around you is running any yellow leaders or anything, you can just clean up probably.
yeah, or a hunter or something, or yeah,
Yep, yep.
yeah. Okay, so you're going through your pool again here.
yep. Looking for my low drops.
Probably
Oh, I thought
feeling.
this was a pack for a second. I was like, well, this is a really good pack.
I said too.
Yeah, I was feeling a little bit more comfortable, but still, I think less than
So you have like
I wanted. I think there's only 4, so I
4.
want
Yeah.
2 plays.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
definitely in a spot where you need to prioritize those more, and I think you do in the next pack. So
Yeah.
Okay, and this is the first pack here. We skipped ahead.
Yeah, I want to take the Ferrex. I wanted the plot troopers,
Yeah.
but that 2-drop. I thought it was funny that I opened the opposite cards, Evils Everywhere, and the heroic version of it in the same
Yeah.
pack.
Yeah. If you want to trade that hyperspace, Evil's everywhere. Hit me up. I'm looking for a copy. Because I think it comes around. I think you end up with it, don't you?
I do. Yeah, I played it in my list.
All right. So we start with 2-drop.
Royal Commandos is exactly what you want in Java. That's just
Yeah.
like the dream card for you. I know you were considering the 2/2 ambusher
I was
there.
like, I needed 2-drops, but this is a really
not
bad
really a
2-drop.
But that 2-drop doesn't even count. That's not real.
Yeah. Yeah.
hyperfoil though.
It is hyperfoil. It's so fancy.
I think I took it.
I was praying right now behind you. You can't see it, but I was I was in my mind because it looked like you were considering the 2/2. Yeah,
I think
there
I
you
was
are.
Commandos is
really
the
considering.
best 5-drop for Java.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one downside with it is that there are a couple 4-drops that have 5 attack that can eat it.
Like Coruscant.
The Coruscant Guard, and I think there's one other one. I can't remember. So sometimes I wish that was like a 4/5 even, or I mean a 4/6, or I guess the 6 cost is a 4/6. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like the best statted one is actually the 4-drop at 4/5, even though it only
Other
it yeah, even though it
Oh,
loses
that's a good card.
even though it loses Sentinel, it's at least it will stay alive. But yeah, I mean, you just need Sentinels in general, right? So yeah, I think it's good there.
This is a rough pack because there's a lot of good stuff in here.
Yeah.
And the fact you're not considering Crucible is interesting to me. I'm curious about your thoughts on that.
I don't remember. I probably should have been considering. I don't think I would have taken it. In hindsight, I probably would have taken the Death Trooper. There was one game where my opponent played Garindin against me and bricked my flip turn, but I had a Cad Bane plotted, so that
Right,
saved me
yeah.
that
No,
game.
I don't think it's like wrong for you to take Cad Bane there or anything. I think Cad Bane's a great pickup, but yeah, Crucible I think is at least in consideration. Like that card's really strong.
Yeah, I think I should have considered it, but I don't think I would have ended up taking it, especially when there's a Death Trooper there.
Yeah, reasonable. I just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page about Crucible being good.
Yeah.
Were you thinking of taking Escape Pod here?
I wasn't. I was reading what the green card did because I wasn't sure.
That the other green card, the corporate warmongering, I think is like super good in any of the aggro decks. I don't know that it's something Jabba wants, but I think like
Yeah, if you can
Yularen
make
or
it buy,
Dedra, yeah,
and it becomes like 3-3 on this one, and then 5-5 total on your other guys.
yeah,
So they can't trade into it very well, and
yeah.
I can see it being really good, but it was not something that this deck wanted.
No, no, for sure, yeah. Oh,
There's another one.
so
Right,
now
yeah.
we've got
You can see me
Gotta
shake
take
my
it.
head. I'm
yeah,
like, oh, 2-drop. I really don't want to take this 2-drop, but I need my curve. I remember thinking that.
That's the kind of 2-drop that might wheel unless someone else didn't eat their vegetables and they like need to take a really bad 2-drop. Yeah.
yeah.
Ooh,
I think
Okay,
I
that
take
goes
it,
hits.
and then I don't. And
Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay, good. I
I
think that's
remember
the right
looking at
play.
Owen during that, and he's like, "What did you just do?" I'm
uh,
surprised. I probably shouldn't have done that in a top 8 draft. Put a card down, and then pick it back up. But
I asked the judge at the last one that I was in, and they said it was okay as long as it was very clearly the same card. Because
Yeah.
I kept
video
wanting to
evidence.
check the last
We've got
card to make
yeah,
sure I
got
took
Yeah.
the right one.
Yeah, in the last pack, there was also a retaliation.
Yeah,
Any merit to that, or
I probably should have been considering that at least. I don't think I would have taken it. I think I
yeah,
was more focused on. I was distracted by my lack of 2-drop. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
saw the good Sentinel and I saw the 2-drop, and that kind of tunnel visioned on those.
yeah.
I think I should have considered the retaliation, but I think I made the right choice on the Cruel Commandos.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, I would agree as well. Now we just get desperate for twos.
Yeah, the pack wasn't particularly great otherwise.
Yeah. Then they get
First
another.
It wasn't my favorite to pick, but she's got a lot of health, and I
Yep.
do have. I think I had a Nimble Prowess and
The other upgrade.
It's a really late Raxian Assembly. I think that card's good.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
probably
Yeah, I
maybe I
think I
should
would
have
have
taken
taken it
that.
here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can consider the Diplomatic Envoy as a 2-drop.
Would you rather
Mm-hmm.
play nothing than a Diplomatic Envoy on turn 1?
Like you're just gonna have a 2/2 in space. You're still not. They're probably gonna be on the ground, so you're not doing anything with it.
Yeah,
You're a control deck, so it's not like you're trying to like put them on the clock with hitting for 2 a turn.
that's fair.
But yeah,
I was just
deck
so
just really
focused
don't
on the
like that
number
card.
2. The number
Yeah.
2 was like all that was running through my mind right now. That I don't even think I remember seeing the Raxian assembly there.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's a
fair.
reasonable heuristic. Like
And
those are important.
and we're not listening to the audio right now, but in the audio, the video, you can hear the judge like counting down like 10 seconds, 5 seconds. So it's like there is that pressure there that you're on, and so your brain is kind of like teetering into that fight or flight mode. So yeah, it
Yeah, there
can
was
be
a couple
tricky.
picks where I was like, I had no idea what to take, so I just picked the card, not at random, but
Yeah,
almost close to it, just because I feel like the first couple picks were a little bit too long in the
right,
pack,
right,
and then the last couple picks were a little bit too short,
right.
in my personal opinion.
Yeah, that's fair. So yeah, if anybody hasn't done a competitive draft, they will have a timer going. They will be making sure everything moves in good time, and you need to make your pick when they say pick.
Hmm.
They're very particular about that.
Yeah. And then yeah, picking up a decent little 1/4. It's not the greatest card by any means, but it can block a hit in space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that card
Surprised.
in Jabba and basically nowhere else.
Yeah.
Surprised Slimore made it that far into the pack.
Yeah, that's
Me too.
great to wheel a Sly. And
Absolutely.
like I was talking up the armor before, there's an armor with 3 cards left in the pack, so I guess other people at the table don't like it either.
Yeah, it's just the 0-3 upgrade. There was one in set 1 that cost half as much.
Resilient.
Resilient. And for a 1 cost card, it didn't see any play anywhere, and it was never like a card you wanted to play. So I figure even if you draw draw a card by plotting it, paying
Mm-hmm.
double for that effect isn't something I really wanted to look at.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so yeah, just for you guys, anything in the draft games that stood out to you? Any lines or any play sequences or anything like that? Um, we I mentioned that Jordan won. I mentioned that 2 people qualified. Owen came in second, and you came in second because you conceded. You guys were the top 2, and since you had a 3-hour drive ahead of you, and
Yeah.
Owen only needed how many points do you need? 30 or something like that to
Yeah, I
qualify?
was at 70. Yeah, I only needed 30, so only
Right.
to get second place. So
So there you go.
no win.
Jordan got his 100, and Owen also got to 100 with the second. So that was considerate of
Worked out
you.
great.
But yeah, uh, any particular things that stood out as you're playing your draft games that you're gonna kind of take into your next event?
Um, I I think after talking about it here, I think prioritizing better 2 drops rather than just any 2 drops is probably what I'd try to do going forward.
Mm-hmm.
I think for the most part, nothing stood out too much about my games. My round 1 opponent had a very strong deck, especially into mine because he pulled a Tarkin, and I was very heavy into the big space units. So at one point he played Tarkin and stole my first light when I had no ground units on the board, and that was
Oh,
really difficult to come back from that.
wow.
But Kylo's command shuttle did a lot of work because I remember one game against him. I played Kylo's command shuttle on 4, the Cruel Commandos on 5, and flip Jabba, and
Mm,
then I played the Naboo 5/7 that gets temporary Sentinel,
right. Yeah.
and it was just that's a 5/7 and then a 5/9 Sentinel when you're on 5 and 6 resources, and you can't get through that.
Yeah. 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 Nice. And so mostly you were just value trading like crazy when you
Yeah.
were playing your games. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Because of all the Sentinels that I picked up, Jabba lived a very long time.
Yeah.
Um, I think Cad Bane is worse than I thought he was originally. I
Mm,
plotted him twice, maybe 3 times, definitely twice, and his when play didn't trigger at all, so it was just a 4/5, and that didn't feel great.
mm,
But it does help that it doesn't cost a card to play.
yeah. Yeah. That's fair. Owen, what about you? You were playing Dedra Green.
Yeah, Dedra Green. So I kind of just aggro, aggro, aggro. My first game was against Yularen Red, who should also be playing aggro, but since I flip a turn earlier, they had to play like a control game as
Mm,
an aggro deck.
mm,
So that didn't work out too well for them. And I had one copy of Aggressive Negotiations in the deck, which won me most of my games.
mm,
Um, I might have misplayed in game 1. I'm pretty sure I was one off lethal with an Aggressive Negotiations because I played one too many cards, but
mm.
I think my dad and also you think I actually did have lethal, but eh, what I won anyway, but we'll just
Yeah,
pretend I
yeah.
didn't have lethal.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I was probably miscounting. I trust your math more than my math.
then my second game was against Alea Red, so I flipped 2 turns earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I flipped Daedra. I put aggressive negotiate or no, Sun Ferocity on her.
Mm-hmm.
Hit for 7. Next turn, hit for 7 again. They still haven't flipped.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and then negotiations just to finish it off.
Mm-hmm.
Usually.
I noticed watching a couple of your games that you were very aggressive with using her ability. Um,
Yeah.
and so sometimes rather than playing on curve, you would play below curve and use her ability just to constantly keep your hand full and put some damage on their guys.
Yeah, because I would usually do it on like I usually word it as can I kill your guy
Mm-hmm.
with Daedra,
Mm.
and they're like, oh no, okay, let me draw a card because I want to
Right.
keep drawing all these cards because all of these games is just I need to find aggressive negotiations
Yeah.
because I can get them to like 20,
Right.
but I need to get that last bit of damage in. So
Right.
I think I negotiations for an extra 7 cards at one point because I just keep drawing and drawing and drawing because
Right.
they don't want their units to die because then they can't trade,
Right.
preventing the damage I'm doing to their base. So it's kind of if they give me cards, I draw negotiations. If they let their unit die, I just keep hitting them for more. So
Yeah.
either way, I I'm fine with both outcomes.
Yeah. So you knew that was kind of your win con, and you just kind of played to that every game, and
Yeah.
it did make for some awkward situations for the opponent where you just would like, okay, I've got a dude in space and a dude on the ground, and you have to either clear them both or claim because otherwise I'm gonna hit you for a bunch once they had seen you had it in the first game. Kind of thing, so
Like
yeah.
one game I saw, they were out of resources. I hadn't spent anything yet.
Mm-hmm.
I just claimed
Mm-hmm.
because I have it in hand,
Mm-hmm.
and I know
Yeah.
they can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, a little bit of analysis and takeaways here to wrap this up. Let's start with some leader rankings for. I guess technically we should be separating sealed and draft, but maybe we'll just keep it general to keep it easy. I think we can all agree Leia's kind of a tier above. Is that a fair thing to say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, then what would be your guys's next three? After Leia, what are the top three leaders you would want to open in a sealed or a draft? Owen, why don't you start?
Next three, Yularen, Jabba, and I was deciding between like Slimer and Mon Mothma, but I really do like Mon Mothma
Mm,
because you're just able to get all these officials. So I think I'll say Mon Mothma for my third.
Okay, Jordan.
Jabba, Yularen, and then Sly in that order, I think.
Joey Lawrence Sly. All the villains. Yeah.
Yeah, Leia's the best hero by a lot, and I think the villains are a lot closer in power level to each other.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ben, what about you?
Um, I think for sealed, it's probably Jabba, Yularen, then Deidre in that order, and for
Mhm.
draft, probably Jabba, Yularen, Mon Mothma in that order. I think Mon Mothma's a little bit better in draft when you can really prioritize the good officials.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I think the only one that I would put into my top three that you guys didn't mention, or sorry, top three after Leia, would be Sabe, and she's a rare, so you don't see her as much or open her as much. But I feel like her ability is way better in limited when
Yes.
there's less bombs, and it's way more devastating to have a card filtered or a card ripped out of your hand that you wanted to play.
Yep. She
So
can
I
screw
think,
your curve, which is insane and limited.
yeah,
I have not played against Asabe in any of the limited games I've played against, with
yeah,
or against. I just haven't seen her whatsoever,
yeah,
so I can't comment on
yeah,
that.
yeah, that's fair. Okay, and then yeah, we have two types of decks kind of in the environment. We've got the aggro decks like the Yularans and the Dedras and the Sabes and the Luthans versus kind of the mid-rangey decks, the Leias, the Jabbas, the Slies, the Mon Mothmas. What do you guys give the edge to? Like overall, do you think one of those archetypes is better than the other, or do you think it's just more pool dependent?
I
I think it's more pool dependent of just if you have an aggro deck and you've managed to draft a bunch of the turn one three threes, you're gonna do really well. But if you're having to play like turn one crosshair. He's not as good, but like you're just gonna get traded into.
Mm.
So if you've got like maybe at least 3 or 4 turn one 3/3s, I think aggro's better.
Mm.
Otherwise, I think just like mid range and like play Leia.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that I agree with what Owen said about it being very pool dependent. I've mostly played mid range in limited in this set so far, a couple aggro decks. And every time going into aggro, I've done okay. I think I mostly win, but I think that's like Owen said, largely pool dependent, and also dependent on the fact that there's a lot of really good sentinels in this set, which can definitely, if aggro cannot do it like right away, can completely just turn the game around, right? Because if you flip Leia into an aggro deck and your base has only taken 10 damage, you're for sure gonna win that game, right? But yeah, like Owen said, it is pool dependent for sure.
Mhm.
I think I give the edge to mid range, just
Mhm.
because a lot of those cards that are good against aggro, all the sentinels, I think all of them are common. The
Mm.
cool commandos, the 4/5 sentinel, the 4/6 sentinel,
Yeah.
And the five
and
seven.
the 5/7. Those are all commons, which means aggro decks are gonna have a hard time facing down a deck like that if you can't kill them quickly enough. Which the sentinel comes down on turn 3 at the earliest. And then there's
Mm.
also the heroic blue has a lot of restore. So there's
Mhm.
a lot of things stacked up against the aggro deck that if you don't have a really good deck, then you're probably better off doing a mid range instead of an aggro.
Yeah, that's fair for sure. What about overperformers or underperformers? I know we mentioned a couple of these kind of throughout the video here, but maybe a card that you were surprised at how good it felt to play, and a card that you were a little bit underwhelmed with.
Well, there's one very clear overperforming leader. I think we all know Satine from the quarterfinals. That's pretty incredible.
It's true. Yeah, it is
um,
true.
Made me really reevaluate that. I still don't think it's good, just to be clear, but definitely it's interesting.
Yeah, I think her leader side, if you can get 3 or 4 uses out of it to give yourself like a big board advantage where like you have 3 units to their none on the by the time you're flipping your leader, it maybe negates the fact that she's so weak on her leader side, but or on her unit side, but I don't know. Who knows? Uh sorry, Jordan, what about you?
Uh, Still the Umbaran Shadow Cannon. I
Yeah,
think it's
The 7-3?
yeah.
yeah.
That
Robot
card,
cannon.
I wasn't thinking it would be great just because it's really slow, but 7 power kills basically everything at that point in the game. And that card surprised me with how many games it won for me, especially with Leia when you get to either buff or just protect it, because you flip Leia, you clear the biggest threat to it, and then you play it and it can't die unless they have some form of direct removal for it. So that card definitely surprised me on being a overperformer.
Hmm. Yeah. Owen?
Um, there's one card that it was actually what Jordan had in his sealed deck that I think we were all kind of iffy on about when it originally released was Dismantle the Conspiracy.
Okay.
Oh,
Um, I remember
So that's
like
the
it's Cad Bane, but it costs one less, but you don't get a 7/7. So
right
if you
six
base it
six
off of that,
cost.
it sounds terrible.
Yeah, I'm still skeptical.
I I
It's
for,
limited and there's no removal.
Right.
I forgot I had that card in my deck. That card won me more games than anything else during the sealed portion. That card is insane in limited, and if you can play it, you absolutely should. I don't know how I forgot about that card, but that I thought it was bad. I was like, it's removal. Maybe it'll do something, but no, it is insanely good.
Did you have to put it on your leader for it to feel good, or could you just put it on anything?
I didn't put it on Leia once. I
Okay.
I put it mostly on space units because I found that with the way my deck was, I think I had 2 Taylanders, 2 Heroic Arcs, and one of the 4/4 Naboo ships. So I had a pretty good space presence, and especially being able to buff the stuff. But even then, I throw it on a 4/4 in space, and they really struggle to get rid of it because there's not a whole lot that'll do that.
Mm. Yeah.
Another card I really liked, my deck, Bog Down in Procedure. The 3 cost exhaust unit, disclose yellow, exhaust another.
Mhm.
Played it against a couple Ularans. They flip. You're expecting to go, they go like, they hit you for 10 or whatever. Just tap both of them down for 3.
Mhm.
You still have 2 resources left. That 10 damage they could have just done there might end up winning you the game.
Right.
Because you can kind of think of it as if they deployed their leader and nothing happened. So you then, the following round, you're deploying your leader, because in this case I'm playing Leia.
Mhm.
So we've kind of, in a way, deployed our leaders at the same time.
Mhm.
So it's a little outmaneuver.
Mhm. Yeah, that's
Thought
fair.
it went pretty well.
What about cards that felt not great to play that you were expecting to feel better? Owen, anything you didn't love?
Um, Trying to think of one. I got Swooty B open because I can't remember where's my pool. Um, oh, there's one card. It underperforms in every matchup but Leia, Covert Operative.
Mm.
Um, we discussed it like when we played draft last week.
Mhm.
The 3 of us. It's it's a terrible statted unit, but usually Leia is just buffing up a 2-drop that it played turn 1, so one Covert Operative just takes the whole thing.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's great, but it's against any other deck. I think it was really bad.
Fair enough. So you might be boarding them out if you have cards to board out against your non-Leia matches.
Yeah, I probably should have done that during Steels.
I mean,
Um,
you
but
generally
I don't
most
think I sideboarded at all.
and most sealed pools don't have the cards to do that. You have 30, maybe 31 cards to play, so probably didn't have any options. Ben, what about you? Anything that was kind of meh for you?
Yeah, there were 2 cards in the deck that I ran. Defense Fleet X-Wing, the 3 cost 1/4 Sentinel.
Mm-hmm.
My logic was, I'm in Leia, I'll pump it up. Everyone's gonna ignore space, it'll win. But I just never had the time to do that, especially because everything important is happening on the ground, and getting in for 1 every turn in space just isn't worth it.
Yeah.
I think I resourced it every time. It was just never a spot where I wanted to play it. In Jabba, it's probably better, but just by virtue of Sentinels. But
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't like it. The one that surprised me a bit more, though, was I really didn't get a lot of value out of Lost Jedi, and I was expecting I would in Leia because grit inherently is a very strong keyword. And Leia, anything that buffs the toughness of a unit, or in Leia's case, both,
Mm-hmm.
makes it even stronger. So I was really expecting to get a lot of value out of that unit, but I just found it too slow. It takes at least 2 actions, sometimes 3, to like really become relevant, and by then your opponent has found a clean way to deal with it, probably. I ran 2 of them in the deck, and it was just never good. I don't think it was good even one time in the whole day. So,
Mm.
that's not to say it can't be good. I'm sure it can in some way. Maybe you put equipment on it or something like that, but it just never came up for me.
That's fair. What about you, Jordan?
You guys each took one of mine. I was gonna say Lost Jedi and Covert Operative as well.
Okay. Yeah.
I can expand off of it though. So
Yeah.
I played 2 copies of Lost Jedi,
Mm-hmm.
and each time I played it, if I played it on turn 1, it was okay. If I played any other point in the game, it was awful. But turn 1, I found if I played it, I experienced it. A 2/4 for 3 resources isn't good,
Mm-hmm.
and then a 3/5 for 4 resources also isn't good. The grit makes it better, but it also means that I found a lot of the time I'd be hitting into something, it would live, and then it'd end up trading with their 3-drop. So
Mm-hmm.
it was kind of like 4 resources to deal 2 to a unit and kill their 3-drop, which it's okay if the stars align and I don't have any other cards I want to play, and I'm okay using Leia's ability that turn instead of playing a 3-drop.
Yeah.
Um, but otherwise, it wasn't great. It wasn't anything I was looking forward to playing. And then the Covert Operative, even against Leia decks, it never felt good to play because I would play the 2-4 capture their 2 drop. Even if it had an experience on it, it would still be it'd be okay. I'd be capturing like a 2 power unit,
Mm-hmm.
and then they'd play their 4 drop, and it was like a 4-5, and it was just not good at all. I was forced to use Leia to buff it so it wouldn't just instantly die and give them their unit back. It felt like a liability almost to have to protect this poorly statted unit that I just put so many resources into just so they didn't get back their card it captured.
That's fair. Yeah. All right, and then the last thing we talked about Leia being kind of the strongest leader. Going to your next event, what cards are you hoping to see that you feel are good into the Leia matchup? Particularly, I know we just talked about Covert Operative, mentioned a couple others earlier. Maybe just recap some of those. Um, Jordan, what are the cards you're looking at having to battle Leia?
Theed Security is a really good one because it ends up being a 2-cost 3/4 almost every single time against that deck.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get the Dismantle the Conspiracy, it's a rare, but if you can get it, it's very good because a lot of the times they play their one big unit and you can send your whole turn capturing it, or you capture a bunch of their other units that they've been upgrading.
Mm-hmm.
Beguile is especially good against Leia because they have a lot of if they lay green, they'll play the 5/7 that can give itself Sentinel. And if
Mm-hmm.
you beguile that, they have wasted their turn. You can play something else and just keep applying pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Beguile is very, very good against them.
Mm-hmm. Other stuff, Owen, that you noticed was good into Leia?
If you end up going aggro, if you aggressive negotiations, which is good in any matchup, but um, especially into Leia, because they're gonna win the late game.
Mm-hmm.
You need that extra little pump just to finish them off.
Be able to close
And
through.
then, like Jordan said, Beguile.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that card has won me a lot of Leia mirrors that I played during Sealed. Because yeah, we're both just doing the same thing. We want to play our big unit, and then you just waylay it basically.
Mm-hmm.
And being able to just know what their whole hand is just an added bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Write it down on your notepad, figure out what they're going to be doing next turn.
Mm-hmm.
Can help you make some good plays and trades.
Yeah, plan for the future. Yeah. Ben, anything else?
Yeah, well, there's of course the things that have already been said, and I reluctantly will say that I think having a copy of Retaliation in your main board is good.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not good removal, but if you can just 5 cost delete your Leia, even though your base had to take 5 to do that,
Mm-hmm.
it's unfortunate, but I think that it's fine in that case. Then there's, of course, in the Leia mirrors, just like make your Leia bigger. So plot out Jar Jar, plot out Unveiled Might, things like that. Those are kind of Leia killers if you're in Leia. And then, as Owen said, Daedra, I think, is a pretty good Leia counter just because you deploy 2 turns faster than her.
Mm-hmm. Nice. All right. Thank you guys for doing this. Congrats again, Owen and Jordan, on your qualifications for Galactics. And thanks, Ben, for joining us too. Be sure to check out Unlimited Limited, and maybe we'll do another one after the other PQ. All right. Take care, everyone.
Okay, thanks.
Hi.
Thanks again.